Barricaded the command center. Got a little dinged up. I'll live.
Sometimes I come in here and
see if there's anyone left to save. Body cam's live. I'll keep eyes on.
It's like, what is going on?
Yeah.
So it's just
Like,
like,
like what, sleep wasn't that good or something like that.
yeah, something like that. Or too busy, and then it's just, it's not, the words aren't coming out.
It's massive. I mean, yeah. So I can tell immediately did I get good night's sleep or not. I just play like video game for like 5 minutes. It's like because my you know, and then some of it your brain will recover through the day, and it's like okay, like an hour or two after waking up, it's better.
Yeah.
Your brain does kind of recover from that sleep a little bit.
You know what really helps? Creatine, apparently. Yeah, creatine is actually a nootropic.
We've got 3 scientists unaccounted for.
It's a creatine
Last
that's
time
weird.
Are there any downsides?
No, it's just like natural part of food. Yeah, especially women. For women, apparently, especially postmenopausal women, it's very beneficial.
Okay.
And but there's a lot of like cognitive benefits, and one of the big ones they found recently is performance when sleep deprived. Mental performance when sleep deprived increases immeasurably when you supplement with creatine.
Is creatine naturally occurring in like steak?
Yeah, it's naturally occurring in meat, I think that's where it's coming from. I think it's a primarily an animal-based thing. Yeah, but
like I did switch to like steak and eggs for breakfast, and I found that's like power.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're all overrun with carbohydrates.
Yeah, totally.
And like carbohydrates make this big crash, rise and crash.
Yeah.
You stay flat if you eat like a primarily high protein, high fat diet.
Yeah.
Your body runs off ketosis.
Yeah. I mean, so I just have like steak and eggs, no bread.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's great. It's a power up.
People dismiss this whole carnivore diet thing because in our heads there's a lot of propagandists that put this thing out there that agriculture is the #1 contributor to global warming.
Yeah, it's rubbish.
It's not bullshit. It's not bullshit. The real problem is factory farming. Regenerative farming is carbon neutral and doesn't sequester carbon.
Animals are not going to make any difference to global warming.
No, it's
zero.
bullshit.
Suppose 0% nothing.
Do you think that that's just propaganda because of people that have a vested interest in like plant-based meat products and things along those lines, green energy?
I think it's part of it. You know, you're generally going to get people pushing to avoid meat. Like, it's sort of just, you know, yeah, maybe they've got mental interest. Maybe they're just like vegetarians, vegans, or whatever. Ideological reasons. But it's not going to make any difference to global warming or, you know, the CO2 concentration in the atmosphere. Really, if people eat pure steaks, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant.
You don't want to.
Yeah.
It will not matter. You will not even be able to measure it. Okay, that's how irrelevant it is.
Isn't it funny that that's
Measurable.
It's crazy talk now. Nowadays, it's like you have to say less meat. So it's bad.
Not even anymore. It's not right.
Help the world.
Yeah, absolutely. And if somebody says it doesn't make difference, I'm like, how will you?
Thought you didn't see that coming.
There's so much bullshit out there. First of all, so much for Twitter. So much. I'm not exaggerating when I think you changed the course of history. I really do. I really think you made a fork in the road. We were headed down censorship and of control of narratives that is unprecedented. Forget about what they were able to do.
That which makes you stronger doesn't fucking kill you.
Under control. What they were doing with social media by suppressing information and
Bonus points.
like what they were doing with the laptop story.
Yep.
We have 51 former intelligence
Guess you took a
agents
shine to
saying
me.
this is Russian disinformation. Take it offline.
Yeah.
And Twitter complied.
Yeah,
Well, if you didn't buy that, we wouldn't have known that. We had no idea.
exactly. No, it's. I mean, the reason I bought it was because I'm pretty attuned since I was like the most interactive with a user on Twitter before the acquisition. So before the acquisition, I had more interactions than then. Like there's some accounts like Obama and whatever had higher follow accounts, but I had the most number of interactions of any account in the system. So I was very attuned to like if they change the system, I can tell immediately. Like and I'm like something weird is going on here. You there's like, I just got increasingly uneasy. And obviously, when they deplatformed a setting president, not the deplatformed Trump, that was just insane. And the things he was posting, like he was posting things that like he would post good things. He was saying like, hey, riot, destruction of property, stay calm. That's the kind of stuff he has posting. Yeah, and you're like, what's wrong with that? And then somebody will say like, oh, that's like some sort of.
You can keep the bullet. It's on me.
Okay, so we'll give you Trump's account. Now you post what you see on the post. Because you can post nothing. You can ask people to calm down. Like what? It was insane. Like it didn't make any sense.
Well, it's completely illogical when you say it's dog whistling to tell his followers to not be violent.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
You think they'll listen to him?
Yeah.
Isn't that the whole point? They listened to him and created violence in the first place? That's what you think. That's what you're accusing him of.
Right.
And then there's the fact that we know.
So you gonna scratch my ass while I wait, or I gotta do it myself?
We're encouraging people to do illegal shit.
Yes.
We know that for a fact. It's not. It was always the big Alex Jones type tinfoil hat conspiracy theory.
Turn them to peace.
Back in the World Trade Organization protests, we were in Seattle in the 90s, and they sent in agent provocateurs, started smashing things, lighting things on fire. So the peaceful protest is no longer peaceful.
Right.
They move in the cops, they shut everything down. It's set up where it was a no protest zone, where you couldn't even have a pin. With a red line through it. They wouldn't let you go in through to go to work. So you could exercise your First Amendment rights. You couldn't even have a peaceful protest, a fucking sticker on your car. Crazy.
It's crazy.
Max ammo.
So we're very much a fork in the road in Destiny. So I mean the reason I did the Twitter acquisition was just like it's like, man, if I don't do this, I think we're screwed. That's the issue.
Well, if you didn't do it, no one else was going to do it because it wasn't a financial winner. It was kind of a crazy move.
It's a crazy move. I mean, the thing was way overpriced. Long term, I think we can ultimately make it a win for investors. But boy, this is
Dr. Moline.
it's
Won the
a hard
physics
way
team
to
last
make
year.
a living.
But it's also a
Nice enough
concerted
to
effort to suppress it. It's a concerted effort to the advertisers.
Well, we had I still have a advertising boycott that was organized by a bunch of left-wing NGOs. And you always want. I should have wrote my. I had to take full fiction again. Yeah.
Anyone else want the same treatment?
Should have put my photo addict. Yeah, I mean, it's just hopefully.
Max armor.
So,
If you didn't do it, no one would have. And here's the hilarious narrative that I keep hearing from idiots. Elon's a bad businessman. Twitter is worth, 400% less than when he bought it. No, it was worth that in the first place. It's worth $44 billion, you fucking morons. Wrong. And also, you're not taking into account the advertising boycott.
Double points.
organizations, like you can tell is they're like when they have a whole name. So like the Center for Countering Digital Hate, right? Is a total spam organization, because they're like the Ministry of Truth, type of thing, in Orwell. They're a censorship organization. And they pushed the advertisers to boycott. So we still have some of the boycott is starting to lift. And I think if Trump wins, we'll see probably a lot most of the boycott lift. If Kamala wins, we'll see that boycott get stronger. And they'll friggin' shut down. There's no way that sort of Kamala regime would allow X to exist.
You really think that they'll be able to shut it down, though? Is there a pathway to that?
Yes.
What would they do?
Well, I mean, they could stick with DOJ, and say they have this whole thing about hate speech, misinformation, whatever. Misinformation. To stop them from filing massive, lawsuits and using the DOJ. I mean, the DOJ is, been attacking SpaceX, for example, for asylum seekers, even though it is legal for SpaceX to hire anyone who's not a permanent resident of the U.S. So we're down if we do it, down if we don't. Something down, just an example of what the DOJ
So it's illegal illegal to hire
I
someone
shot
who's
you
not
in the
American citizen.
fucking head.
What SpaceX is considered an advanced weapons technology. So it's covered by international trafficking arms regulations because we're making rocket technology that can be used against the United States. It's like if North Korea or Iran got SpaceX rocket technology, they could use that to launch nukes at America.
Right.
That would be bad.
Yeah. I do know that.
That would be really bad. So we're since we are in like the most extreme category of technology at SpaceX, under U.S. ITAR law, it is illegal for us to hire anyone who's not a permanent resident, because the presumption is that if they're not a permanent resident, they're going to return to their home country and take the rocket technology with them. So it's illegal for us to hire
39.
anyone who's not either has they can have a green card.
39 at the end.
The United States. Then
54 in the middle.
If you're asylum seekers, you're also breaking the law. So they DOJ can only do a small number of lawsuits every year. Launched a giant lawsuit against SpaceX, saying that SpaceX is against asylum seekers. It's illegal for us to hire anyone who's not a resident. So if we're in this this is what I mean. It's like Orwell situation thing with saying, like, you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. Too damned.
Can you imagine history? Watch robot arms catch the rocket, realize that this is like one of the greatest accomplishments in the history of aerospace. It's one of the most wildest accomplishments. When you watch that thing come and you see all those people cheering and it catches it perfectly, like, holy shit. Imagine how history is going to look back at the DOJ going after that company.
Yeah.
How insane it is.
Big lawsuit
Now
with
I say in the
an
middle.
army of lawyers. Like, this was not like some minor thing.
It doesn't even make any sense.
Doesn't make any
Watching
sense.
it, how can it even get brought to court if it's illegal?
Exactly. So that's what I mean. Like, basically, if the government wants to go after you, they'll just find a reason. You know, it's like that famous quote from Beria. You know, like Stalin's like chief torturer. Stalin's secret reasons, like chief torturer, really evil human being. Like this guy Beria. His one of his famous quotes was, "Show me the man and I'll show you the crime."
Right.
They decide that you're the target, and then they figure out the crime afterwards. That's the issue.
I
They
win.
decided SpaceX was the target. They just figured out the crime afterwards.
Which is so crazy because that's exactly what they're saying Trump is going to do if he gets into office.
They're doing all the things that they accuse Trump of. The sheer number of hoaxes that the Democratic Party is pushing over and over again. And it's like, look, I understand like politicians are gonna exaggerate. They're gonna speak. They're not even gonna tell people.
What can I say? I'm a crowd pleaser.
We have deliberate
Max
conservative
armor.
pushing of hoaxes. You're like, wait a second, like, come on, man, this is too far.
39.
You're supposed to be the good guys.
39.
I'm like, exactly.
You're supposed to be the progressives.
Yes, the Dems are like, oh, we're the good guys. We're the honest people. No, hang on. You can't claim to be the good guys. You can't claim to be the honest people if you're deliberately pushing hoaxes that have been debunked thoroughly.
Yeah.
Well, not just even Snopes, which is a liberal thing, as a bogus.
Yeah.
Like to find people for hoax.
Obama just said that on stage.
Obama just said that. I was like, what the flying fuck?
He doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't give a fuck. They're just
flat out fucking lying.
Flat out lying.
Flat out fucking
How about
lying.
the other one when Kamala's campaign used what Trump was saying about protecting women and from illegal immigrants? Like, remember that?
Yeah.
What he was saying.
Yeah.
He was saying that they were trying to say that he was taking away women's right to
In the
choose
middle.
whether women
54
like
in the middle.
That's not what he was saying.
Absolutely.
He was literally
54
talking
in
about
the middle.
protecting from dangerous people that are sneaking in through the border.
Right now.
They'll take like we'll say it's like a half a sentence from
Yes.
and then I'll push it on every ad, every speaking event,
And
every
it gets repeated on the news. This is what's crazy. They'll talk about it in these news shows. Quote news shows.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, a recent one that came up, which had a lot of people, because a lot of people reached out to me, was like,
39.
Trump says he wants to execute this chain.
Who's next? Any takers?
Bullshit. What not what he said at all?
It's not what he said at all. All he said was like, it's like what he's saying is that look,
39.
if Liz Cheney
Four in the middle.
actually had to
39.
fight at the front lines, she'd think twice about going to
Four in the
war.
middle.
Exactly.
Like it's easy to go to war. It's easy to be a warmonger if you don't have to, risk dying at the front lines. Like basically it's fucked up if people are having like fancy dinners in Washington D.C. While people are being slaughtered in trenches. It's like you don't
What
feel
the
the
fuck?
pain. Exactly. You don't take the risk of someone else dying. That's cruel and lacking in empathy. And all Trump was saying was that it's like Liz Cheney was much less of a warmonger. She's a huge warmonger. Just like her dad. She actually had to go to the front lines to fight herself.
And meanwhile, they're saying that he's saying she should be shot.
Yeah.
Just that woman's done using his body.
Trump says he's gonna put this train in a firing squad. Like, that is an outrageous lie. Yeah, the media ran with that lie.
Yeah, crazy. It's wild to see. And if it wasn't for Twitter or X now, I don't think we would know about all this stuff. I think it would be very difficult for you. I think YouTube throttled. They did something weird. They won't say what they did, but they did something weird with the Trump interview that I did.
Yeah.
Where you couldn't find it.
It doesn't make sense. Like,
It made no sense.
I mean, it was like the biggest interview on earth.
Yeah.
And you can't find it?
Yeah. Not only that, it wasn't
like,
trending.
Bullshit.
It wasn't trending.
It
No, it wasn't trending.
Like, there's just no excuse for that, man.
No excuse.
There's no
It
excuse.
was getting 1 million views. 1.4 an hour at one point in time? 1.5.
Yeah.
It wasn't trending.
Yeah. And it's like your channel is a known channel. It's not like we started yesterday. It's like this is a high trust. Yours is a high trust channel. It's like you're not trying to sell scam crypto fortunes.
At least it was quick.
Thank God we put it on X as well.
Yeah.
Because I think just with your account and my account alone, it's like 70 million views. Well, it's like you can't hide things anymore because of you. If it wasn't for you, I think they would have had total control of social media.
Yeah.
They banned so many accounts during the pandemic, so many dissenting scientists and doctors and physicians. They banned so many conspiracy theorists, so many people that were colored outside the lines. You probably would have. And what's going on at Facebook, they're more lenient. You hear Zuckerberg talking about taking a more libertarian stance. That's entirely to the way Twitter has kind of moved the watermark.
Exactly. So as soon as a company steps online and is going to actually have the data on the platform, it forces the other platforms to allow things to be more difficult to not censor. Because their censorship becomes blatantly obvious.
Yes.
And the best thing I found as a rebuttal, like if there's a hoax, it's just go to the source material. If somebody thinks Trump said that people are painting firing squad. I'm like, let me send you a link to X so you can watch his video. That's the best way.
Yes.
Don't take my opinion for it. Don't take anyone's opinion for it. Go to the source material.
And community notes.
Yes, and
Community notes is the best.
It's awesome.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Because everybody gets checked.
Yes, including me.
Yeah.
And with community notes, all
39.
the software is open source, and all the
39.
data is open source. So you can recreate any given note independently.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
Total, absolute transparency in every way. And sometimes I get asked, like, oh, Elon, can you remove a note? Mostly by the left, but sometimes by the right. And I'm like, I don't even remember
39.
notes on my own account.
39. 39
things.
things. 39 things. 39 things.
Like, it's not going to be solved.
That is the best counter to misinformation.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, like, let everybody look at it and
54
say,
in the
okay,
middle.
here's what the actual facts say.
Yes.
54 in the middle.
Not just
Just
that,
nine,
but having it checked
54
in
in the
real
middle.
time in the community. So you have millions of
54
people
in
that
the
can go
middle.
over it and debate whether or not this is true or that's true.
Yes, and just, and like I said, like the best way to understand the truth of things is don't take anyone's opinion for it. Look at the source material. So it's like, look at what someone actually said, look at what someone actually did, look at the real videos of the situation, and then you'll know what's real.
So, as of today, when you were literally on your way here, you sent me this text saying that they're trying to lock you up in jail in Pennsylvania. Tell me what the fuck is happening.
Well, there's the classic sort of Soros DA situation. So we're making a lot of progress in Pennsylvania. So, I've given a whole bunch of folks throughout the state, because Pennsylvania is the linchpin in this election. Whoever wins Pennsylvania wins the election. So, I've been giving I spent 3 years in Pennsylvania. I went to college in Philadelphia. So it's not like I'm not like a total stranger to the state. I spent 3 years there.
We ain't going to overtime today.
And we've organized this petition in support of the Constitution, which I think is a good thing, and specifically asking people to, and we wanted this to be like registered voters in swing states. Like, basically, we want to send a message to the politicians to say that the people care about the Constitution, because there have been all these attacks on the Constitution. They've been, especially on the Democrat side, they've been repeatedly saying that the First Amendment is an obstacle. And they're saying, the First Amendment is enabling disinformation, misinformation. And I'm like, yo, there's a reason for the First Amendment. Like freedom of speech. The reason we found out the country put, the freedom of speech there in countries where if you spoke your mind, you would get shot.
Send it a subtext.
That's why the First Amendment exists. And the Second Amendment is there to stop the tyranny of government. The Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, is there to protect freedom of speech. Debates in LA that like, want to take everyone's guns away. And I'm like, yo, can you guarantee me that the government, that we will never have a tyrannical government in the United States? Can you make that guarantee? And they're like, well, we can make that guarantee. I'm like, then we need to keep our guns. Because that's what's going to stop it.
Sounds crazy. It's the thing about violence. You have problems, you've done this, you've done that. It's the reality of the world that we live in, is that tyranny is possible. It exists other places, and it's slowly existing. It's slowly rearing its head. Interesting.
You didn't like my sister.
People that have been
Kinda
arrested
look like
for
you.
social media. It's in the thousands.
Yes, several thousand people have been given prison sentences in the UK with social media posts linked to actual violence. They just did it and encouraged by it. It's like, well, did anyone actually do anything as a result of that?
Rest easy.
Well, no.
Or not.
But they just,
I don't give a shit.
And then that was a crowding situation in the game. So they're quite literally releasing convicted pedophiles and putting people in jail for Facebook posts. It's an actual thing happening in Britain.
So wild.
It's so wild. What the fuck is going on?
What's insane to me,
Make more fiction.
encouraged by the left. Andrew Brown's Jackson, Don Perry.
We just shut down that pickup office.
On camera, like 2 weeks ago, saying that the First Amendment is an obstacle to fighting disinformation.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's such a crazy thing to say when you have a solution. You have a solution, it's something that can clear everything up and you can use within a day.
Max ammo.
You can reply to a post and with evidence that shows that the post is wrong. You don't even need community notes. I mean, community notes is helpful because it sticks to the original note.
Yeah.
But in the replies, you can say, here's why you're wrong, here are the reasons, and here's the evidence.
But the argument is that people are too unsophisticated. They're not
Turn
going to
them
research
to
these things. They're going to be
pieces.
a victim of misinformation. So they're going to read something that's incorrect. They're going to run with it. People are going to die. We're going to ruin the world because people believed in misinformation. It's a stupid argument.
It's a stupid argument.
It's an argument to know what's right or wrong. If you know, you're saying it's misinformation. Why do you think that you're smarter than everybody who reads that?
Exactly. And obviously anyone on the X system knows that things are posted and then there are replies or there are rebuttals immediately corrected. Where are the corrections for the legacy media?
Right.
If some broadcast media, they say false things all the time. One-way street, there's no counter.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
Who's apologized for being incorrect about, like, Rachel Maddow
Becoming black.
telling everybody COVID. Well, the government stops with you.
No, never.
No one ever. It's just, it was not true at the time. There's no evidence to support it at the time.
That you didn't
Your
see that
propaganda.
coming.
As you said, it Russia can hoax. For 3 fucking years, they said it was Putin's ploy.
Yes.
And then Putin had it Trump. So it's not, yeah, it was
Max ammo.
It was paid by the Clinton campaign. Literally.
crazy.
And still people think the Russian hoax is real.
And there's no repercussions.
Yeah.
No one had to apologize. Hillary Clinton never for that.
Yeah.
People still listen to her. The whole thing is crazy.
Yeah.
It's all coming from the left, which growing up as a person who's a left life, it makes any fucking sense.
Same. I mean, I was on the left.
I don't see anyone recycling your crappy remains.
You know,
It's not the left.
it's not the left anymore. Like, I think we want. I mean, like we want freedom. Like we want. We want to maximize personal liberty. And we want to be kind to people. And, you know, we want empathy. And it's very important to have personal freedom in American society. And the left just wants to oppress your freedoms, especially freedom of speech. And they want to have a non-American society, you know, with race-based and sex-based preferences. And it's like, well, wait a second. No, we just want people to succeed based on their skills and their hard
I
work.
know how to get shit done.
They want people to express themselves about particular
No
issues.
way, cheerleader got it.
They're trying to suppress people's ability to communicate. They're only doing that because they want to do things that people don't want them to do.
Yeah.
And they want to silence opposition. That's all it is. So people can't see that, and they want to call Trump a fascist. It's, the whole thing is
Stuck
it's like
here.
a looking glass. It's just,
I mean, it's like one hoax after another that they're perpetrating against Trump. I mean, like, they're trying to pull the rally in Madison Square Garden. It's like a Nazi rally. I'm like, yo, there was like literally an Israeli flag in the audience. I think like a quarter of the speakers were Jewish. Like, there were people of every race, color, creed, religion at that rally. But tell me, what about that is Nazi? And yet it was portrayed as a Nazi rally.
well, MSNBC, they literally showed video of the Nazi rally from the 1930s and then compared it to the Trump rally. Now, ignoring the fact that fucking Jimmy Carter spoke there.
There have been dozens of rallies at Madison Square Garden. Dozens on the Democrat side. Like, people on X were like, and here's Jimmy Carter. Here's
Keep the bullet. It's on me.
Well, it looks like every presidential candidate has done on the Democrat side has done a rally solving Nazis too.
Preying on low informational voters who aren't engaged on social media, who don't have that's through everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, if people are just on looking at legacy mainstream media, then they have a totally different worldview than if they're on X and seeing the actual flow of argument.
Yeah.
And the actual evidence.
Well, what was the pushback? Like, what happened when you guys released the Twitter files? Because I think the Twitter files is probably one of the most important things in this age of information for understanding the influence that government has on social media and on discourse. It's when we found
got a pretty good top speed.
that the government was actually Twitter for same thing with Facebook, Rogan. This is one of Tucker Carlson's show. Suppressed
Yeah.
Any other dipshits want to step up?
Yeah, no, there was massive government interference in Twitter. Twitter welcomed it. That's important. All Twitter welcomed it. All Twitter was controlled by far-left activists.
Yeah.
So, and
15. Could have sworn we were way past that.
Double point.
they got paid by the government for it.
That's crazy. They got paid for their time.
Sentry
right?
turret
Yeah, they
established.
got paid millions of dollars for suppressing information.
So it's like
And it's like not only like the FBI had this sort of magic order system, and the communication had that sort of portal.
Sentry turret's up.
So we didn't know what this so it was all even after 2 weeks. Yeah,
it's so crazy. It's so crazy to think about that.
it's not
Super not okay. It's unconstitutional, and want the government to have it.
Anyone else want the same
What was the
treatment?
blowback like when all that stuff got released? Like, you had to anticipate that there was going to be problems. Like, you released that. Like, what happened?
Well, we got a lot of There's a lot of alcohol problems.
Which is crazy. This is essentially like one of the most important forms of journalism is exposing government corruption.
Yes, I mean, this is the weird thing. It's like the left used to be big on exposing government corruption. But once they control the government, they no longer want to expose the government corruption.
Fucking hell, where do they find these guys?
The left-wing government's incapable of corruption.
Yes.
We're on the good side.
I think it maybe just like, whoever's in power kind of doesn't want the other side hurt. Because as you pointed out, like the left, historically, until, I don't know, maybe even 10 years ago or something like that, was the free speech party. And now it's the anti-free speech party. And they use words like, oh, well, we have to be against hate speech and misinformation, disinformation. But these are propaganda words. It's like, who's defining hate speech? Who's defining something? The government. Who trusts the government? The whole point of the First Amendment is like, you don't trust the government.
Well, especially if there's no law. There's no repercussion. Yeah. With the whole left theory, here's a book YouTube that presented this argument that, hey, maybe that coronavirus lab would work on the exact same virus that got released.
Yep.
Hey, maybe that's where it came from, since that's where the virus started. What do you think, guys?
Yeah.
They kick you right off of YouTube.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. It's like, I think maybe it could have come from a place called coronavirus.
Concentrate! I shot you in the fucking head!
It's like, what's gonna happen to us? He was totally caught off the point where Jon Stewart got off his chair and started walking around trying to take control. Yeah, and John.
And then they're trying to cancel Jon Stewart.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, he was right.
He's right.
And no apology.
If I shove my teammates in here, you think you could upgrade them?
No. The whole Fauci thing. Or the criticism of Fauci. It's like, if you read RFK's book,
yeah,
The Real Anthony Fauci, if that's correct, if the facts are in there, that's true, it's all referenced.
Yeah.
You can find the sources, and on top of it, he's never been sued for that book.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make any sense. He just made a bunch of lies up.
Excellent work.
Yeah.
Headed
So
to
the guy's a
refuel.
monster. Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, like, just looking at lies, the way he tried to find gain-of-function research to Rand Paul,
I think a lot of people don't realize Fauci wanted research that was going on in Wuhan. He bank shot it over, like, he can't send the money directly to China, so he just bank shot it over EcoHealth.
Right.
This is like a big non-profit in the US, and they sent it to Wuhan.
And Obama put the skids on that. He stopped that in 2014.
Yes, I mean, so, to give Obama some credit, he actually was like looking at this and saying, hey, this is crazy, and he actually did stop the so-called gain of function, again, a propaganda word, because what is the function they're talking about? Death.
Right.
So if you actually use the right word, this is gain of function is death maximization.
Right.
Then you're like, hey guys, refund bioweapon research into death maximization, because that's what gain of function means.
Yeah,
That's the function.
make it a disease so that people can get it. Give it to people.
Yes.
And by the way,
What's that function again? Oh, the function is death? Oh, okay, so just call it a death maximizing virus.
if you
That's
do
insane.
research on
Hurry it up! I got shit to do.
research is so that we can cure these things. We don't have a fucking cure.
Solving cure for this disease second.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like,
I
there's
go
no
next.
strategy
I
for
win.
dealing with it if it got out. And so you have to like make up this new vaccine in like a record time, freaking work, release it to the people with medical testing.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Seen plenty of crapshoots in my
It's
time.
crazy. No,
One more will make a difference.
We need to use next level.
Well, it's the Scion is fascinating. Watch people see that.
This out the whole time.
Tear them to pieces.
When you take it back to when pharmaceutical drug companies were able to advertise on media in the 1990s, that changed everything. We're one of the few countries in the whole world.
Yeah.
And because of that, we don't have socialized medicine. It's a complete profit scam. All sorts of things that were never researched, all sorts of things not supported by data. Stop transmission, the fact that we stop infection, the fact that it was safe for pregnant women, the fact that it was safe for children, all this bullshit.
Yes.
And they pushed it on the whole world, and if you didn't say that, cocktail party, you were a pariah.
Yes.
You were an anti-vax.
Psycho.
It was like being a Holocaust. You get kicked out of society.
Exactly. And I should say, like, I'm actually generally from overall. You know, I think we should
Max
look at these
ammo.
things with that in the scientific method.
Yeah.
So you never blanket accept anything. You never blanket accept that any given medication or any given treatment is 100% good. You should always view it with some skepticism.
Especially when you're getting the data from pharmaceutical drug companies that have like a long history of
Give me a pistol, I'm taking a hammer.
Yes, they've got a best interest in the research. It's sort of like asking the medical companies about, you know, they smoke it, it's dangerous.
Exactly.
According to our scientists, everything's fine.
Yeah, there's a lot of people forever to say they did it off the confidence and it wasn't. They have a long history of being full of shit if it makes them money. And that's what they do.
Yeah, they literally lost multi-billion-dollar lawsuits.
Amazing scientists, right? You have these clinical researchers, these people who know incredible drugs.
Any
This
takers?
is their job. Their job is to figure out some new way or something to get stuff. And the problem is when you have one thing that
Fire sale.
help people, and this other numbers people.
Yep.
And all
Eyes on the doggy
it's not a problem.
Copy.
Now that's what I call a bite.
Most amount of money. And so they just want to push it on everyone. Fertile females should go in and do cardiovascular events. We're going to get strokes.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're still going to do well. They did. Like $12 billion. They got 27. 50 to 60,000 people died.
Holy shit.
Yeah. One of them was a friend of mine, got a stroke. Yeah, no, he didn't die. He was a really healthy guy. Yeah, he had knee problems, and he took Vioxx, and all of a sudden he was slurring his words, and he couldn't concentrate, and people were like, I think you're having a fucking stroke, and they took him to the hospital, and then you have this giant class action lawsuit, and then Vioxx gets pulled from the market, and they get sued, and it's fucking crazy, but there's a long history of this. What is the number? Like 1/3 of drugs that the FDA approves gets pulled? That's crazy. That's crazy. You're an idiot. 1/3 means that you say you're okay. You're trying to stop MDMA or veterans.
Yeah, they should let MDMA through, honestly. That they could actually help a lot of people.
It would help a lot of
The
people.
fuck kind of drugs are
There's
kids
a lot
on
of
these
different
days?
therapies, specifically psilocybin. You have to go to Mexico to get therapy for veterans. So many guys they talk to, not only it's like completely giving them a clean slate, refresh their mind, and totally new perspective on life, alleviated depression, cured addictions.
Yeah.
Illegal.
Yeah.
Illegal. Oxycontin, go get it.
Yeah. I know some people who, like, their life is ruined by Oxycontin.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, it really depends on, you know, somebody's individual biochemistry. Like, to me, opioids are not amazing. Like, I've had them when I've had operations or something, and they barely affect my pain level, and they make me, like, itchy and uncomfortable.
They make me
At least it was quick.
So like I could never get addicted to alcohol or opioids. It's just impossible. Like, my does not have. Like, I love tasty food. I feel like, I'm addicted to tasty food. I have a whole wall full of alcohol. It's there for decoration.
Keep it coming. I'm getting my bloodlust on.
One drink are off the races. There's a difference in we all that's the case with a lot of addictions. I'm not addicted to gambling, but I get it. I see it. I've seen it in people. But I have this aversion to things that I know are going to ruin my life. I see it. That's why I've never tried cocaine. I just saw too many people. That it looks too fun. I'm like, I don't want to get involved.
Yeah, I mean, generally for any given drug, legal or illegal, the question is, can you complete the following sentence? Blank made me a better person. Like, I never say meth made them a better person or cocaine made them a better person. No, ever. Maybe a lot of soldiers that, yeah, I mean, if you're like, if the soldiers need to march for 3 days. Yeah, I could go get like France hard time, but you know, it's like World War II. You know what's worse than the Nazis? Nazis aren't mad. They're not
This ain't no regular blow your legs off kind of
He's coming.
So that for drugs that they gave for soldiers. Yeah, different dosages.
Yeah. You just think they're vulnerable. And
nice
it's funny, like I said, so I think you could, you know,
We ain't going to overtime today.
go after the Nazis on that, be like, holy shit, those fuckers won't stop me.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not just that can be a better person. You hear very often. You hear a lot of like psilocybin advocates. You hear a lot of people talk about psychedelics.
Exactly. I've actually heard many people say that LSD or you know, mushrooms or MDMA made them a better person.
Yeah.
Many people.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, I think a rule for the FDA should be like, hey, look, if you can complete the sentence, legal or illegal, that wine made you a better person, action.
Stop, kid.
You got a good drug. And if you can't, you got a bad drug.
Also, if there's drugs that are available right now that can absolutely ruin people's lives, this rationalization for stopping drugs a lot of things, so help a lot of people's lives. It doesn't make any sense. It's the same thing as discern what's true and not true. Taking away people's ability to discern what's good for you and not good for you. What do you want? To have as much information as possible. So to do research and actually do objective observers who are looking at all this stuff, they give you real data.
Yes.
And the opposite of that, or the counter to it, it's like, if you don't do that, you're empowering cartels.
Yes.
And it's the whole reason why they won't move. Because it's illegal to sell drugs in America. It's never going away. So instead of like drugs, now drugs, this fentanyl and all this other shit, because they're not pure. So you're just killing people. Saving anybody, protecting them from themselves. It's a tricky situation. It's like say, okay, now everyone can sell, people can sell pills, now you can sell meth. Oh, yeah.
You get the combo.
That's easy. Or not. I don't care.
Yeah, especially people that have used
Eat it, screwhead.
yeah.
So, I just think people like become much worse people if they take too much alcohol. You know, it's like an aggregate. So now I'm not saying I don't know something like where there's pluses and minuses. It's not a clear-cut issue.
Right.
This helps some people a great deal.
Alpha team,
And
extra window
but
closed.
in higher doses, man, that stuff, I've seen people turn into just raging monsters on high doses of alcohol. All the time. Yeah, that's what happens if you take meth.
It's crazy.
Well, you turn it, like, meth turns you into a friggin' rage demon. And I'm like,
there's like 39 million prescriptions for Adderall in this country.
okay, and like, once in a while it's like an avalanche. There's like one widespread panic, you know.
We're right there.
That's the same thing as like when they tried to like limit the amount of OxyContin. Well, people
Oh.
go to street if you're addicted to Adderall, it's like like low-grade meth, like the stuff the Nazis took.
Well, that pharmaceutical grade was bad. I mean, they take meth, but it was like made by I'm assuming bringing meth is getting like this. I mean, you just look at freaking online online Wikipedia page, but there's like many different versions of meth. Like they're all the same, and they have different effects. But like pharmaceutical grade pure meth, you are going to be, oh my god, super productive for a certain period of time, and you're not going to sleep for a while, and then you will have some anger management issues. So like they actually the Nazis, they did actually roll back how much meth they were using because they had quite a few incidents of the soldiers killing their officers because they were on too much meth.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so they were too many officer got dragged by the the platoon that was on too much meth. Quite a few times. Like you just when someone's on a lot of meth, they're very angry.
You ever pay attention to when John
My favorite egghead.
was
Not
cooking
just
meth in a Latin
I'm actually quite character.
He was an character on the run. But he called undisclosed location when he was running from where was he, Costa Rica? Is that where he was? Right. He was running from the authorities.
Yeah.
He called in to have him on the podcast on the run. And I was asking him about his process. There was an online account that's linked to him where he had this very detailed laboratory, super sophisticated. Yeah. Super genius.
Like that, like you're thinking, I don't know why. And there's I talked to actually like a reporter who went down and like interviewed in Belize. And unfortunately, man, this is one of the scariest things. He was confused with so one of the things I've had to do, I guess this trick where he would play Russian roulette with himself. So he'd put a bullet in the revolver, and they spin the chamber. And clearly, he had like some trick to know that it was not. There's some way that he knows it's not the right bullet. I do wonder if McAfee's high and he does that, he's not always going to get the trick right.
You sure he had a trick?
So the point is, reporter, when he went to visit McAfee in Belize, McAfee took out the revolver, put a bullet in the revolver, spun the chamber, and then pointed at his head and went click. And the reporter's like saying, "Please don't do this. Like this is insane." Click.
Which one of you cupcakes wants to lose a push-up
And then
contest?
pointed the gun to the ground, and they just went click, bang, and shot a bullet.
I come head.
It's a hell of a party
I
trick.
win.
It's the next level of party
That's a
trick.
guy who's seen a deer hunter too many times.
Yes.
Yeah. And Christopher Walken, that's one of the greatest scenes in any movie ever. He walks in a scene just like clawing him.
Yeah.
He's a wild boy.
Wild.
And created antivirus software.
Yeah. Yeah. You may have made some of the viruses too.
Didn't he give laptops to a bunch of government organizations
With viruses on them, yeah.
so that he could
Yeah,
pay attention to what they were doing?
Yeah.
I'm surprised somebody whacked that guy. I don't know what happened to him.
Tear them to pieces.
He's a little bit too loose.
They probably had sensitive information, I don't know.
For sure he did.
I mean, I'm kind of an interesting guy. I mean, like I feel like if somebody's not harming someone else, then you should be okay now. There is some suggestion that McAfee killed his neighbor in the police. So
Seems like he probably did. See how he killed his father,
yes.
right? And then seems like he killed the neighbor.
Yeah. It seems likely.
It's not a zero possibility.
Definitely not true. It's
That's a wild man playing Russian roulette. Hey, maybe you kill your neighbor.
yes.
I mean, if somebody killed your dog, you'd be really surprised.
Yeah.
Somebody killed your world.
Yeah, John Wayne.
Yeah. The fucking world man is bananas.
Yeah.
Well, it's your thing to be
The whole squirrel thing is that going to be that we live in a squirrels are land free, and the government bars with guns, and so if you resist, you're gonna get shot. And then take your pets and execute them. And if they can do that to your pets, what do you think they can do to you?
It's not an exaggeration.
Absolutely.
It sounds like you're oh, that's so crazy. How can you make that connection? But that's why would you kill that cute little squirrel that was obviously a pet and trained from the time it was a baby?
Yeah.
If you see the interaction that guy has with that squirrel, it was wonderful. It was really cute.
Yeah, absolutely. It was just obviously there was a lot of petrol
Any
pet squirrels.
takers?
And we're doing too. And doing no harm. And the government comes in, walks into the guy's house, takes his pets and kills them. And you know, I think this should really get
This better be
people
worth
out
the
there
price, or I'm gonna be
frankly,
pissed.
because everything sort of like the John Wick movie, where John Wick's like, you know, he just wants peace. You know, the movie John Wick, where he just wants to retire. They offer him like tons of money, they want to be an assassin, they like offer him tons of money. They threaten him. He's like, listen, I'm not gonna be, I'm a, you know, and they kill his dog. And that was a bad idea.